Level 1. The Clot of Blood. You are born around 1162 on the Mongolian steppe. The legend says you arrive in the world clutching a clot of blood in your right fist, an omen of the violence that will define everything that follows. Your name is Temujin. Your father is Yesugei, a minor chieftain of the Borjigin clan. Your mother, Hoelun, was kidnapped from another man on his own wedding day and forced into marriage. This is the world you are born into. Not exceptional, not chosen, just another child on a cold, hard plane where life is brutal and short and entirely dependent on the loyalty of people who can abandon you at any moment. They will. Level 2. The Orphan. You are 9. Your father has just arranged your betrothal to a girl named Borte from a neighboring tribe. He is riding home alone when he accepts food from a group of tatters, old enemies who recognize him and poison the meal. He dies on the road. You ride back to claim leadership of your father's clan. The elders refuse to follow a child. The entire clan abandons your family, your mother, your siblings, your half-brothers, leaving you to survive on the Mongolian steppe with no horses, no cattle, no protection. Your mother digs roots from frozen ground with her bare hands. You eat rats and bark and whatever you can hunt. At some point during these years of survival, you kill your older half-brother Bekter in a dispute over food. You are around 11. You are already becoming something the steppe doesn't have a name for yet. Level 3. The Slave. You are around 15. Rival clansmen from the Techut, the same people who abandoned your family, raid your camp and capture you. They lock a heavy wooden cangue around your neck, a portable stock that pins your head down, and parade you through their camp like a broken animal. You escape. In the dark, you slam the plank into a guard's skull, crawl into a river to hide, and disappear into the steppe. A man from another clan finds you and hides you in a cart packed with wool. He risks his life for a stranger. You remember every person who helps you. You also remember every person who doesn't. Level 4. The Wife. You are 16. You marry Borte, the girl your father promised you to. It is the first real alliance of your life, and you honor it with the one valuable thing your family still possesses, a sable fur coat Borte's father gave as a wedding gift, which you immediately deliver as tribute to Togrul, a powerful chieftain who was once allied with your father. It is the smartest thing you have ever done. When Borte is kidnapped by the Merkit tribe months later, taken in a raid that was itself revenge for your father's abduction of your mother a generation earlier, you call on Togrul and on your childhood blood brother Jamuka, and raise an army of 20,000 men. You rescue her. She is pregnant when you get her back, and the child's paternity is uncertain. You name him Jochi and raise him as your own. You never discuss it further. The people who took her, the Merkit, are destroyed. Level 5. The Law. You are 44. You have spent the last 2 decades doing something no one on the Mongolian steppe had managed in living memory. You have unified it. Through alliance, war, betrayal, and the systematic destruction of every clan that refused you, the Tatars who poisoned your father, the Merkits who took your wife, the Naimans, the Karaits, your childhood friend Jamuka who turned against you and was eventually delivered to you in chains by his own men. One by one, they are gone. In 1206, at a great assembly on the banks of the Onan River, the leaders of every Mongol tribe kneel before a 9-tailed white banner and give you a title no single man has held before, Genghis Khan, universal ruler. But before you march, you build something. The first written law code the Mongols have ever had. Promotion by merit, not blood. No looting until victory is complete. Complete religious tolerance across all conquered lands. Betrayal punishable by death without exception. A decimal military structure. Squads of 10, companies of 100, regiments of 1,000, armies of 10,000. That can operate independently across vast distances and still function as a single precision instrument. You are not building a horde. Everyone will call it that. You are building something far more dangerous. Level 6. The Wall. You are 50. The Jin dynasty of northern China has ruled behind the longest wall ever constructed, a barrier of stone and strategy that has kept nomads out for centuries. The Jin emperor sends an envoy demanding your submission. You look at the envoy, then you look at the map. Your cavalry sweeps around the wall's edges. Your engineers, learned from every conquered people who knew how to build siege weapons, dismantle what cannot be circumvented. Your spies move through Jin cities months before your armies arrive. City after city opens its gates or burns. The Jin emperor flees his capital on foot in 1215. You ride into Zhongdu, what is now Beijing, and sit in the empty palace. The wall, it turns out, only stops people who come at it directly. Level 7. The Reckoning. You are 55. A merchant caravan of 450 men traveling under your protection and your banner is massacred at a border city of the Khwarezm Empire, a vast Islamic sultanate covering modern-day Iran, Afghanistan, and Central Asia. The governor of the border city wanted their goods. You send 3 ambassadors to Shah Muhammad II demanding justice. He executes one. He shaves the beards of the other 2, a deliberate, calculated humiliation, and sends them home. Your officers outside your tent report total silence for several minutes. Then you walk out, climb a nearby hill, and kneel in the dirt. You stay there for 3 days. This is not grief. This is the silence before something that has no word for how total it will be. You mobilize 200,000 soldiers in 3 divisions. You personally cross the Kizil Kum Desert, a route considered impassable, and appear behind Bukhara before anyone knows you're coming. When you enter the city, you reportedly tell the people, "I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you." Samarkand, the crown jewel of the Khwarezm Empire, a city of 200,000 people fed by mountain aqueducts and famous across the known world for its craftsmen and scholars, falls in 5 days. Its population is ordered to the plain outside the walls. 100,000 people are killed. The Shah flees west. Your 2 best generals, Subutai and Jibei, chase him with 20,000 men across Persia, through the Caucasus, into Russia, a reconnaissance in force that covers 8,000 miles. The Shah dies alone on a small island in the Caspian Sea, abandoned by everyone who swore to protect him. Your engineers divert a river to wash away one city's ruins so completely there is no foundation left to rebuild on. The Khwarezm Empire, 4 centuries old, is ash in 3 years. Historians will argue about the death toll for the next 8 centuries, and never agree on the number. They will agree it was unlike anything that had happened before. Level 8. The Decree. You are 60. You have spent the last 2 decades doing something no one on the Mongolian steppe had managed in living memory. You have unified it. Through alliance, war, betrayal, and the systematic destruction of every clan that refused you, the Tatars who poisoned your father, the Merkits who took your wife, the Naimans, the Karaites, your childhood friend Jamuka who turned against you and was eventually delivered to you in chains by his own men. One by one, they are gone. You turn your attention back east to the Xi Kingdom, a Mongol tributary state that refused to send troops when you called for them during the Khwarezm campaign. This is not a mistake you let anyone make twice. Before you leave, you do something that none of your predecessors ever did. You formally divide your empire among your sons and name your charismatic 3rd son, Ogedai, as your successor. You understand something most conquerors never do, that an empire built on one man is one death away from nothing. You are trying to build something that outlasts you. You also understand, from 60 years on the steppe, what actually will happen. You know your sons. You know the rivalries already forming between their camps. You know that the thing you are handing them is too large for any of them to hold completely. You go to war anyway. Level 9. The Mountain. It is 1227. You are around 65. The Xi campaign is grinding through winter terrain, and your body, which has been shot by arrows, thrown from horses, and driven across half the known world, is running out of time. The exact manner of your death is one of history's great mysteries. Some sources say you fell from your horse during a hunting expedition, and the injuries turned fatal. Others say illness, typhus, malaria, exhaustion, infection from battle wounds. One legend, almost certainly fictional, claims a sea-shot princess stabbed you. Another claims you were struck by lightning. The Mongols themselves kept almost no record of it, by design. Revealing the Great Khan's death to enemies would be catastrophic, and so the secret was maintained, the procession hidden, and anyone who witnessed the funeral was killed. What is known, on August 18, 1227, you die in camp in Gansu province, China. On your deathbed, you order the sea-shah erased from the earth. Your successors honor the request with the thoroughness you always demanded. Your body is returned to Mongolia. Your tomb is dug in secret. The slaves who dig it are executed. The soldiers who escort the procession kill everyone they encounter on the road. According to one account, horses are driven over the burial site until every trace of disturbed earth is gone. According to another, 40 horses and 40 women are buried with you. Your tomb has never been found. Level 10. The Fragments. You're dead at 65. You conquered roughly 12 million square miles, an area the size of Africa. At your peak, you commanded the largest contiguous land empire in human history, twice the size of Rome at its height. Twice the size of the Mongol Empire will still be when it eventually collapses. What happens next is precisely what you tried to prevent and could not. Ogedei rules well for 12 years and expands the empire even further. His generals reach Poland, Hungary, the Dates of Vienna before pulling back. Then Ogedei dies, and the succession fractures. His widow rules for a time, then his grandson, then his granddaughter-in-law. Within 30 years of your death, the largest empire in history is splitting into 4 separate khanates: the Golden Horde in Russia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Yuan dynasty in China, each pursuing its own ambitions, each adopting the religion and customs of the people it rules, each slowly dissolving into the civilizations it conquered. You came from a dirt floor and a murdered father. You built the most powerful military organization the world has ever seen. You connected the Pacific Ocean to the edges of Europe under one law. And then you died on a campaign, and your sons divided what you made and fought over it for generations until it was gone. 1 in 200 people alive on Earth today carries your genetic signature. Your descendants populate half a continent. Your name is still the first word that comes to mind when someone tries to describe the scale of a conquest. You came from nothing. You became something the world had no category for. And now you are history.